All right, we back at it, Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle DJ Hed up in here, man. Shouts out to Daniel Son for hooking us up, man. Got us looking real right over in these iHeart Studios. Oh, wait, say something again. Oh, I forgot your mic is on this one now. One more time.
West Coast.
3 more times.
West Coast.
2 more times.
West Coast.
There we go. All right, that sounds good. Wait, one more time.
West Coast.
You ain't recording. One more time.
West Coast.
There it is. You are here, DJ Hed.
You was a stupid ass.
Get this stupid ass to go over here. All right, so look, a lot of things going on. I was saying that you off air. You look very refreshed today.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the new schedule.
What have you learned so far? 2 weeks, new schedule. What have you done this week that last week you didn't do? Because last week you just looked completely fucked.
Because I was getting up in the morning and doing a night show. I think now I'm more so like getting acclimated to. I'm getting accustomed. I'm getting used to.
Oh, here you go with the big words. I mean, fucking T.I. over here.
I'm getting What did T.I.
He said, "I'm being I was inconvenienced and arrested yesterday."
I was inconvenienced and arrested.
Shout out to T.I., man. That story is still developing right now.
I love T.I., man. But yeah, no, I was inconvenienced because my schedule changed dramatically. So now I'm a little bit more. I'm getting more used to it.
Gotcha.
You got to figure I was getting up 3 years straight,
right.
5 in the morning. Now I have to sleep in so I can last through the night.
You know what I noticed you do? You round off shit.
What you mean?
You ain't been getting up 3 years straight.
Yeah.
You're right. Never mind. I'm
you
lying.
just stupid ass.
No. When'd you start the morning show?
Like in May, April?
You lying.
May?
All right, whatever. My right. No,
Are we not in May?
We are in May.
Shut the fuck up.
But I could have sworn you wasn't doing that shit as early as May. I thought it was like later on in the year. Anyway, whatever the case may be.
Stupid ass.
A lot of stuff going on. We've been talking about a couple of things offline, but one of the biggest things, and you said you caught it. I don't remember having a conversation about this, but we briefly talked about it before. About Spotify removing all these artists.
Yeah, I did want to talk about that because, and I put up this post on.
Well, let's kind of back up real quick. First of all,
what happened?
Yeah, they took R. Kelly, and I had to get some clarification.
They didn't take him off of Spotify.
That's what I thought. I saw the headline because I'm subject to the headlines. A lot of times I don't read the stories. I just see the headlines, just like most people. They see the clips. They don't read the stories, right?
Yeah.
So I just saw that R. Kelly got removed from Spotify, Apple playlists, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they didn't remove his music. They just took his songs off of certain playlists. So when you go on Apple or Spotify, they have these lists up there as new music or throwbacks or classics or whatever. So every category that R. Kelly was in, they took him out. Right?
Yeah.
So that was the first one, and then now I guess they're taking more people off than Chris Brown, now Nelly, and
it's just gonna keep going on and on and on. And so,
where is the line?
There's a new policy that they're implementing, Spotify, and the new policy is basically like it's a new policy for hate content and hateful conduct public policy.
So that's bullshit already.
Yeah,
because that's subjective to what they think hate is, correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
I understand they're trying to cover their ass, but you open up Pandora's box at this point.
When you start regulating, when a third party starts to regulate what is this and what's that, when it's just simply somebody's art, it's literally just somebody's craft, it's literally somebody's expression. You shouldn't be able to limit somebody's expression. So
now let me ask you this: had R. Kelly made a song about the incident that he was allegedly doing, right? What if he he was cleared of all those charges, right? I don't think he was ever convicted of anything as of lately or recently, right?
No.
Let's just say
R. Kelly still hasn't been convicted of anything. On the low.
On the low, right. Everybody knows what's up, but let's just say he comes out with a song just saying, haha, yeah.
Like on some OJ shit.
Just on some OJ shit. Like, yeah, nigga, I did it. Y'all ain't gonna catch me. Pied Piper, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now with that song, should that song be removed? Or is it art?
I don't think. I mean, I think no matter what it is, it could be somebody saying "fuck niggers." Mm-hmm. We think we should remove it from Homegrown Radio.
You don't think we should remove it?
I don't, because once you start, that's a dangerous. I was literally arguing with Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz. Shout out to Brilliant Idiots podcast. I was in a group chat with them, and we argue every now and then about some shit. We were literally arguing for like an hour yesterday in the group chat about this, and it's about freedom of expression.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck what somebody is saying. They have the right to say it. Now, Charlamagne's argument was, in the group chat, he was like, basically, you're right. People have the freedom and the rights to say whatever they want to say and put out whatever they want to put out. Right. But you can also not regulate people's reactions or responses to it. So this is Spotify's reaction or response to it. They're just in that way. Or if you call me a bitch ass nigga, you have the right to do that. But then I have the right to respond however I want to respond.
Okay.
So that was the argument. So my point of view, my perspective is, this is a dangerous path to go down. This is what I was telling Andrew Schultz. I'm like, bro, once you start going down this path, there's now you opening up, like you said, Pandora's box. You opening up a whole world of possibilities of shit that you don't know how that shit can go. Like, you can start regulating. What if I say, like in my post on Instagram, what if now you start regulating profanity? What if you start regulating
because it's hateful or
because it's hateful? And then that goes back to my Instagram post I put up on the Instagram. It was like, at one point NWA was hateful content. Right. At one point Tupac was hate speech.
It's all in the eye of the beholder. Whoever feels this is derogatory, hateful, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So where is that line? Though? Is there anything that you feel like
I don't think we should regulate nothing unless it has to do with.
I know. I'm just saying the policy, but I'm talking about you. Like, as at this point, you said somebody can say fuck niggers, and now here's where I disagree. Well, I'm not gonna say I disagree. We have the right to play it, or so would you? If somebody comes out with that song, are we posting it tomorrow? You throwing it up on the gram? Is that what you're saying?
What? I hate niggers?
Yeah. That song comes out.
I'm for sure posting it, just not on some like to promote it, but I want to address it. I don't think that we should there's certain things that I think we can starve out, like flames. They say, oh, you start, like when people be like, oh, don't pay Tekashi no attention. Right. That's what he's doing it for, is the attention. But certain things need to be addressed because there are lessons that need to be learned.
Right.
So like, I feel like, imagine if somebody was like, act like slavery don't exist.
Right.
Let's ignore it.
Kanye.
Right.
Okay.
Or what if somebody was like, let's ignore, these motherfuckers over there building these nuclear bombs talking about they hate America.
Right.
Like, no, you get in front of some shit.
So what's your idea of getting in front of some shit? Because I feel like some people right now, the people that are speaking out against 6ix9ine or Apple Music, their policy in their eyes, they're saying this is us speaking out against this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we taking this off the list. We're not gonna take it off of the platform entirely, but it's not gonna be the featured music of the week. So
no, I agree. I'm okay with that. But like I said, the reason why I said, like on my Instagram, I said this is a bad idea. Okay. And the reason I said it's a bad idea is because, yes, you have the right on your platform, just like we have the right, to not promote what we feel is hate speech. Gotcha. Or what we feel is advocating for domestic abusers or pedophiles or whatever the case may be. But like I said, that's a dangerous path to go down, because now you have to regulate everything.
I get that, but here's what you're saying. You're saying you have the right to respond to it, right?
Yeah.
What if the policy is their response to it?
Because it's still going to start now, because like the reason for the post was there's a female activist group called, I think it was Ultraviolet. I don't want to miss because they'll come for me. Ultraviolet is the women's advocacy group. And they are demanding Spotify remove Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chris Brown, Nelly, and XXX Tentacion, a couple other people, whatever, right. For hateful content, female abuse, or whatever the case may be. Now, R. Kelly, as we all know, is a piece of shit. He's never been convicted of anything. Right. So that's where, and that goes back to the group chat I was arguing with Charlamagne and them about, is that goes down a slippery slope of public opinion. The court of public opinion was literally convicting people that haven't been convicted. Now, we all have our opinions about what R. Kelly is doing. We all have our opinions about the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation, the XXX Tentacion situation, even 6ix9ine with his alleged underage allegations, now Trippie Redd with his underage allegations. We all got our opinion. But until someone is found guilty, do we really have the right to start taking action before they've even been tried for anything? So, okay, I get that argument. But let's say somebody has been found guilty, right? Then at that point, the 6ix9ine, his situation, he was found guilty. He did a plea or something like that. He did a plea, but he's guilty. I mean, he has that on his record. Right. So at that point, does the policy in effect work out for him? Like, well, this is my perspective. This is what I want to, and then, to be more clear, okay, either we regulate everything, right, or we let people make their decisions. But you're saying it's a bad I think it's a bad idea because of what it can end up, not what it is now.
Right.
What it is now, I get it. Oh, we're not gonna promote this. Cool. But now you have to pick and choose for every individual situation, and that's not always going to be unbiased.
Is there any situation where you think that, okay, yeah, that's kind of justified? They probably should.
Somebody unjustly beating the shit out of kids, women, stuff like that. Like, I'm okay with whatever action, whatever come to them. But when you're a brand or a company, that's a different way that's a different thing, because it could be like iHeart. What if iHeart, we work here? What if they don't like us wearing baggy clothes?
Right.
They don't like us wearing our hats backwards. Now, they have the right to do that.
Right.
This is their building. This is their company. This is their studio. They have the right to do that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now what if I don't like the fact that you got curly hair?
Right. You could do it. I don't know. I think I hear you.
It's extreme.
It's extreme.
But what I'm saying is that's the path that we're going down. I'm not talking about where it is now. I always look at the like you know me, we're dealing with women too. Right. I look at the minor shit. I don't care about the big shit. I look at the minor shit because that's what's gonna spiral out of control and some other shit. If you tripping off the fact that I haven't called you back in 2 hours, how are you gonna react when I'm busy all day?
Right.
So what I'm looking at this is the same way. If you tripping off of somebody who hasn't been convicted yet, how are you gonna react when the world is calling for the crucifixion of something, just like a Donald Trump, which I put in my post. Everybody thought that Trump was a good idea until he started deporting motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all think it's a good idea until you realize, you wake up and, like Silas always say, people run out in the middle of the street and then realize, like, oh shit, I'm in the middle of the street. I'm not that guy. I'm watching like, oh, that ain't a good idea down the road. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I get that. I feel like we can hit on a few more points, but I don't want to drag the conversation now because I feel like there's so many other ways you can look at it, and it really boils down to what's somebody's opinion and what their perception is, and them having the power to do that. Because on one end, I feel you. I'm like, yo, it's, you kind of you throwing it out a little too soon. But then being on the other end, thinking of like how we run homegrown. And we've had a situation where we had to kind of like stop some shit.
Yeah, but we had proof.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. If R. Kelly comes out, like, right, let's say he's convicted of 6ix9ine.
We got proof. Fuck it, let it fly.
6ix9ine is convicted, right?
Yeah.
6ix9ine pled guilty. If they say they're gonna snatch his music, would you put up the same post like, man, this is a bad idea?
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But like I said, that's in the now. Right. I'm looking in the future. Nelly has that case got dropped.
No, you're right.
Nelly's case got dropped.
Right.
R. Kelly's hasn't been tried.
Chris Brown.
Like that shit. Actually, that did happen.
It happened.
Was he convicted?
He was convicted. Yeah.
Okay. So now.
So R. Kelly stays. And Chris Brown got to get removed.
Yeah.
But see, and that to me,
because I gotta have that same energy.
But you see where the conflict is.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that. But just because we feel like R. Kelly is a piece of shit, or just because we know that R. Kelly is a piece of shit,
yeah, man,
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
he still has rights. I'm not saying that. I'm not advocating
but
this.
See, that's the thing. That's the trippy part about it. Like, all right, okay, you're right. He didn't get convicted.
No,
but the motherfucker was on tape.
Yeah. But we don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
We can speculate that
he just had
We can speculate. We don't know how old she was in real life.
Yeah, that's a dangerous.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is a dangerous conversation.
But I'm saying, should the conversation be open though for people to have that discussion?
Yes.
And so ultimately, is this good or bad because we're having a conversation?
The conversation is a great thing, great place. It needs to be. That's what I'm saying. There needs to be more dialogue
instead of just the consequences. Instead of just
consequences being.
Don't you think that if more people were talking, like that shit would even happen? Like if let's say Spotify, they were talking about it, Apple was talking about it, but didn't do shit about it, we still be talking about, oh man, should we regulate?
Did they sit down with old girl or R. Kelly?
Say it again.
Did they talk to old girl or R. Kelly?
Doubt it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna penalize you for some shit that I talked to somebody else about you about.
Got you. True. I'll give you that. Like I said,
I'm not advocating for R. Kelly.
No, I know. I just
want that to be clear.
I want you to see how it looks, though.
I know how it looks.
Yeah.
I know. I always say shit.
Cape on.
I always look crazy when it comes to logic. Because that's how I operate, and that's how society chooses not to operate, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being on the island.
All right. So speaking of another platform, TIDAL, we were talking. It was funny. We were just talking about this last week about how the streaming numbers and just things looking kind of crazy, numbers being high and low, and now it shows that TIDAL has been, and again, it's all alleged. Who knows if this is real or fake, but has been accused of manipulating streaming numbers to benefit Beyonce, Kanye West, pretty much the people that are affiliated with the whole Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying?
Now this goes
not gonna say everybody. I'm sorry, but those are a couple of names that are out there. But
I don't believe
coincidence that is Jay-Z's close people.
Now there's not a lot of things that I agree with how the forefathers set this country up. I think it was a very timely and skewed way to look at things, like black people not being a full person,
right?
All that kind of shit. What I do believe in is the separation in church and state.
Okay.
That's why I thought it was asinine. It was a ridiculous, stupid idea for me to pledge allegiance to the flag in school.
So under one nation. Did you realize that though?
One nation under God. Blah 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 blah. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
When did you realize that?
When I got older.
Okay, so
I didn't realize it because you were just doing shit.
Right,
I was just doing shit because that's what they told us to do.
Right.
Just like I was going to church because that's what I was taught to do.
Right.
I don't believe in none of this shit no more. Like, I think that now that I'm an adult and I have a way of thinking, I dissect everything. I believe in the separation of church and state. That being said, I don't necessarily agree with the artists running the business of artists.
How would the business be better if somebody that's in it, an artist, so to speak, wouldn't the artist know better? Like, if, okay, we do radio, wouldn't a radio personality know?
No, we can have our hand in it. We can be producers.
Got you. So you're saying not.
Imagine if Trump wanted to start building his own White Houses. He gonna contract himself to build his own White House. It would be outrage.
So what do you mean his own White Houses? Like, just
if not his own White Houses, but if Trump started utilizing his position as president to gain outside of his presidency.
That's what the niggas doing now.
And there's outrage,
right?
That's when it's the same thing. If I'm not saying Jay or whoever, if me and you own TIDAL, and then we decide to drop albums and inflate our numbers, it should be the same energy. That's what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying, but I think it's also, you're looking at it like, this is a capitalistic society. That's what we're built on doing. So
I agree with you.
If this is what America's about, how can we be upset about Jay-Z doing this? Not me personally, but I'm just saying, how can people be upset about it if you know that this is how shit is ran and this is how you kind of get your weight up, so to speak?
I agree with you.
Or people that boost their numbers on SoundCloud,
all that shit. But that's why I'm saying the people that are. So at that point, what scale is fair? That's why I believe in the separation of church and state. That's why I believe in checks and balances. That's why I'm glad Trump is not able to declare war just because he feel like it. He got to go through Congress. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but like, what if the argument is Jay-Z, what's his official? I don't even know what's his official.
I have no idea. I'm sure he's majority stake owner or something.
Yeah. So if he's not CEO, right, of TIDAL, if he's just,
but he still is in business with TIDAL,
right?
So he stands to gain for boosting his own shit. I'm not saying he does. I don't know the situation.
Speculation. But I'm just saying, in this argument that we're having,
TIDAL accused of manipulating streaming numbers to benefit Beyonce and Kanye West. That's what the note says. Now, I'm not saying that they're wrong either. Because, like you said, it's capitalism. So if I have an advantage, I always preach this: take advantage of your advantages. But at the same time, if we're using you as an official barometer, as an official scale of this is what's going on, is that fair? It's like if Billboard was to become a record label.
Shit, I mean,
can you imagine?
Going, shit, hey,
I heard rumblings of different companies.
I would not be surprised. Yeah.
Just like when Apple was doing, and they put U2's album in everybody's fucking phone,
which I think that's happening too. Like,
so imagine if Apple Music or Spotify wanted to break an artist, they can do it overnight.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it with playlists. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. So at that point, is this going to be the official scale? Is what I'm saying.
I think so.
So at that point, what
are you mad about? And I think that's where we're at right now. I mean, this is going totally left, but I was looking at a piece of the interview with J. Cole and Angie Martinez, and Cole was talking about, yo, these kids now, they're looking at attention. They're not thinking about, when you come to hip hop, they're not thinking about skill, you know what I'm saying, music, you know, studying, like having actual talent in that sense. They're looking at what's going to give me attention. All right, I can do this rapping shit, and then whatever outside of the rapping, which is the attention that I can do on social media, calling out motherfuckers, you know, doing crowd chants or whatever, like that's the shit that's going to get attention.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the music. So at this point, literally the attention, and that's the new scale for artists breaking their music or getting attention at this point in time.
I agree with J. Cole. I think that for the most part, that's what it is. At
this point, there's new models being built at this point.
Yes, there's a new scale being built, right. And the rules have changed.
It's the Wild West right now.
It's anarchy.
Yeah,
but it does significantly level the playing field for everybody.
What does?
The new way of doing things.
Oh yeah.
Because 5 years ago, didn't nobody know or give a fuck about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So ultimately, do you agree or disagree with TIDAL boosting numbers? Are they like, yeah,
I disagree with it, but I understand it. There's two ways to look at it. One, I respect it because shit, that's what they built it for.
Right.
Why would you not take advantage of your advantages?
True.
Everybody does that. America go around punking other countries all day, all night.
Yeah.
And what you gonna do about it? We gonna send drones in. We gonna blow your women and children up. We gonna fucking kick off the bullshit. We gonna invade your company, your country. We gonna displace your leader. We gonna do whatever we want to do because we can. Ain't nobody gonna do shit. So I'm a firm believer in taking advantage of your advantages, but that can't be the scale that we look at as an unbiased scale either.
Makes sense.
So we can't look at TIDAL numbers and be like, oh, that's what's happening right now. Because it's obviously not what's happening right now. We have to look at it like we look at a tabloid or fake news.
So I wonder if at this point, what's going to be the norm? Like when numbers like this, because I remember at one point when Twitter was like jumping off, and then there was this one site that showed how many fake numbers was really, you know, that people were producing. Like, how many, you know, what out of your let's say you got 10,000, 20,000 followers, how many of those followers are actually real and fake? And that shit fucked a lot. I think Mace was under controversy at that point. It was a gang of celebrities.
A couple people I know.
It was like, damn, like that shit ain't real. But I think just as much as if you have those people that can call this shit out, I mean, it just depends on how you survive the not the speculation, but being called out. Now, you know, I think the TIDAL should show the numbers at this point. If that's the case, if they're being accused, you got put them numbers up and either admit or. So do you think if they admit it, like, yeah, we boost these numbers, that's just what we doing? Ooh. Does that then fuck up the infrastructure of TIDAL?
It'll fuck their credibility up for sure. That's like going back to where you trying to get a house or a car and going in there and be like, look, this check stub is made up. You know what I'm saying? It's a fake ass check stub. I don't make enough money to afford this shit.
I can still live here though, right? Like, hell no.
Hell no, get your ass up out of here.
Get the fuck. Hey, my shit just died, so you gotta tell me the next one.
Oh, so this one I want to talk about real quick. I have a question for you, and I asked this in the group chat with Charlamagne and Andrew. I want to know if I was raped this weekend.
The fuck?
So, because
should I be concerned right now?
I had sex with a girl.
Okay. Whew. First and foremost.
Yeah. Oh, that sounded crazy.
I didn't know where you was going with this. I just had to be sure. Okay.
I had sex with a girl because she had a knife.
Shut the fuck up.
So
wait. She had a knife. Like she just
no.
I come over. I have a knife.
Let me tell you what happened.
Like was she trying to be safe and have like a pocket knife?
No. Let me tell you what happened.
You gotta walk me through this, please.
So basically, what happened was she wanted some more.
Okay, so you guys had engaged.
Oh, we had already engaged.
That night or that day?
Yeah, within the same 12 hours. Within the same 12 hours.
Okay, got you.
So now it's like, bro, like I can't just do that all the time. Like I have to be right. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to be just.
That's a different podcast. Continue.
Yeah. So she wanted to keep. She wanted more, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, okay, let me just add, just for the context of the story. Is this the second time, or
this is gonna be the second time?
Okay, gotcha.
She wanted another one. She's like, I'm like, ain't no another one.
She hit you to Khaled.
Ain't no DJ Khaled.
Another one.
Ain't no another one. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm all done. I got nothing. I'm tapped out.
No more.
I got nothing. Please. You know what I'm saying?
All
no,
right.
it ain't happening.
Okay. And this was within, you said 12 hours?
Within 8 hours of the last one. So I'm like, no more. She's like, no, like, I want this. I'm like, no.
Now,
I'm literally saying,
is she still at it? Are you guys still in the same residence at this point?
Yes, we're still in the same residence. Now, I'm like, no. I'm literally saying no. Now, at this point, she's trying to, like, do what she force her way. And I'm like, no. Then she tries to take my drawers off. So I roll over. I'm on my stomach now, trying to protect it, protect what I got going on. So now I'm laying on my stomach. I'm like, no. She proceeds to try to remove my drawers. I'm like, no. Then I don't want to get too graphic, but then she tries to do some other shit to try to. So I'm like, oh no, we ain't doing that. So now I'm laying on my stomach and I'm holding my drawers. So she just politely gets up. She goes to start looking for some scissors. I'm like, what are you looking for? She's like, I'm looking for some scissors. I'm like, why? What are you looking for scissors for? She's like, I'm gonna have to cut your drawers off. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm like, no. Then she just goes and the thing gets a knife, like a steak knife. Like the brown handle, rigid steak knife, and comes over to the bed. It's like, she's like, I don't want to have to cut your drawers off, but I will. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, she's talking to me calm as a motherfucker.
And that's a scary shit too. Like, if
bro, now I'm thinking like, oh my God, I done worked this hard in my life to get to where I am. And it's all come down to I'm gonna have to kill this motherfucker to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
It is about to be a wrap.
I'm about to get up out of here and I gotta kill her. That's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm scared.
Okay.
I totally understand
victims now.
Victims and
well, you don't even have to tell me the rest of the story. Yes, you were.
No, but listen. So then, now I understand the Me Too movement too, and you want to get another victim blaming shit out of me.
Okay.
So now I've been delivered. So now we in negotiations. She's like, you take your drawers off. I'm like, give me the knife. I want the knife.
Yeah. First and foremost.
Fuck all this every shit. Right. Give me the knife. You know what I'm saying? So now we're negotiating, and there's a woman standing over me with a knife, a big ass. It's like a big ass knife.
Right.
And we're negotiating for my underwear. Okay. So I end up giving in. I'm like, all right, look, hand me the knife.
I give you my drawers.
I'll take the drawers off.
Right.
And so it ended up happening. So she's like, okay, give me the drawers. So we eat same time. She hands me the knife. Now I got the knife in my hand. Mm-hmm. She takes my drawers off, and I had to just do what I had to do to get out of the situation.
Well, you had the knife at that point.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna do?
Leave? I don't know. I mean, you have.
Man, listen. If I'm not. Man, listen. I felt like I just was like, oh my God. So
okay, at this point, okay. So, do you proceed to just lay down or like what? I mean,
yeah. I just did what I had to do to figure.
Yeah, you were forced into a situation.
I was forced into a situation.
You were forced into a situation.
Because I said no multiple times.
Right.
Now, this is the conversation I was having in the group chat with Andrew Schultz. It's like, if the roles would have been reversed,
been under the jail.
They would have got me the fuck up out of here.
It would have been over.
That's some bullshit.
Now, how come you didn't scream?
I don't know, because I felt like if I needed to, I felt like I could beat her ass and get up out of there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm telling you the truth. I felt like
it was a halfway threat. Like
I felt threatened.
That wasn't the last resort.
That was me. Like I would have. Now she would have poked me. If she'd have stabbed me or cut me or start cutting my drawers off, I would start screaming and going through the whole nine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like.
Yeah,
I felt like I was in one of those situations.
You were forced. I was forced.
You were into a situation.
You were.
Yeah.
So now the thing that I don't want to. I'm questioning whether it's rape.
No, not rape.
You were willing to participate in the action after the negotiation.
Yes.
Because you could have just.
Yeah. No, I was an active participant after the negotiation. Correct.
But it's still you had to negotiate to get to that part.
Right.
Yeah, bro. I was
forced.
You was forced into a situation you didn't want to be in.
All right.
So my thing is this: where do you guys stand now?
Oh man, I don't know. I just kind of stopped talking to her. Like
This happened when?
This is this weekend.
Has she called or texted you after
this? Yeah.
Do you respond?
Yeah, I responded. I said I wasn't. I said.
Just so you know, they don't want to read this shit.
I said no. I text her. I said
I want to read this shit.
I said, were you really gonna cut my boxers? Question mark. She didn't hit me back. She didn't respond.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. That was one of the situations where you definitely got manhandled.
I don't really know how to proceed and where to go from that, but I just think that was crazy. I do want to talk about this though. Childish Gambino debuted his This Is America debuted at #1 on Billboard.
Finally dethroned Drake.
Yes.
Drake was on top from God's Plan to Nice for What, and it's been I want to say it's been a record. I mean, we were talking about records and shit before. I think he did kind of hit a record as far as being #1 for the longest.
Now I had an interesting conversation because even on Neighborhood Playlist we were talking about this. Who's the top 3 most talented people of our generation? When I got on the phone with Silas, he pointed out to me, he's like, you forgot to say Donald Glover. He's like, you gotta think about it. He has an award-winning television show, right? Movies. He has a #1 record in the country.
So what was the question was what?
Most talented people of our generation.
Of our generation. Okay.
Donald Glover would have to be in that conversation. His stand-ups sell out.
Very true.
Atlanta, he produces, he writes. Very true. He writes. True. Yeah. He does everything. 30 Rock, he was a writer.
Right.
Saturday Night Live, he hosted and was the musical guest.
So are we talking hip hop, or are we just saying just like what's?
Well, I'm always gonna be hip hop biased or leaning, but just in general, like I felt like Chris Brown is in the conversation
for sure.
I'm not, honestly, coming from a place of ignorance, I'm not that familiar with like a country singer or
we're talking about hip hop right now.
I'm talking about hip hop shit. So out of that, Donald Glover would have to be in that conversation.
Here's the thing. Would you even be mentioning Donald Glover if This Is America didn't come out?
Yeah, you would have to, because even Redbone was a hit.
I don't think anybody would.
Why?
Nobody would have that. And I think just right now, because of the status right now, and I agree with you, but I just think that right now he not to say he's a one-hit wonder or anything like that, but he's the flavor of the month right now. He's what everybody's talking about.
Well, no, I think that
he's in the consideration. You're right. I think a lot of people
based on his the totality of his work.
I think the conversation is more of he's overlooked. Hell yeah, I give you that for sure. But no, I don't think anybody will be talking about him being the most talented person in our generation.
One of
as of right now. If you're saying top 3,
top 5,
I just don't think people would say.
Who would you put in the top 3?
We're talking hip hop.
Overall talent.
We're talking hip hop.
Overall,
most generation
of our generation.
Fuck, that's a hard question.
I know. Chris Brown got to be in that.
Because here's the thing. What I'm saying is, are we saying? What about Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson wouldn't be in our generation.
Why not?
He could be, but
he is.
I put him in a generation before us, because I was too young to really understand the impact of Michael Jackson. To be honest with you.
Nah, see, fuck that. I knew the impact. Like, so okay. So who would you
like
start
Tupac?
With?
I was too young to fully most of us.
I was gonna say Pac. But I'm thinking. I would say MJ, Pac, and Beyonce.
Yeah. See, the thing is,
and mine's is like all over the place. So my bad. I'm sorry, I've cut you off. It's beyond. Are we talking hip hop? Because if we talking hip hop,
just in our culture, in the culture,
in the culture of what?
In the hip hop culture, Beyonce would be in there.
So MJ would be in there as well.
Yeah,
I'm rolling with MJ. I gotta say MJ's number 1.
I agree with you, but I don't.
Prince.
I agree with you, but again, I can't relate because I don't fully understand the impact of what they did.
Who would be number 1 on your list? Let's say
I don't know who would be number 1.
You were aware of. No, not to say number 1 on your list, but just the first person when you feel like, okay, just so I can have a gauge of where you're starting from. For me,
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown
is in the conversation.
Okay, because you were fully aware of what he was doing.
I'm fully aware, and
you saw his start and where he's at right now.
That's what I'm saying.
So, what about Rihanna?
Rihanna would. Nah.
What about Beyonce?
I wouldn't put Rihanna in the conversation.
What about you? Got to put Beyonce.
I would put Beyonce in the conversation.
Beyonce's before Chris.
I agree with you.
Okay,
but I was aware of her impact. I watched her first song, Bills.
I'm only saying it because I'm thinking of where you're starting.
I'm starting from when I was paying attention.
Which is subjective based
on where you are.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. My generation, Michael Jackson would be in the conversation because he was alive.
Jay-Z.
No.
Jay-Z's not
in that top 3, no.
You tripping?
I'm not tripping.
So you're saying Donald Glover would be more
talented overall than Jay-Z? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I wouldn't go there
because he does more.
So that okay. So
I'm not talking about skills. I'm talking about talent. Overall talent. How many talents does Jay-Z have? that you know that you're aware of.
Okay, so let's just say you're saying if Jay-Z played the fucking flute, then he was a producer.
If Jay-Z wrote sitcoms and wrote movies and television,
does it matter how successful they are too?
It has to.
Okay, because I mean Jay-Z could do some of the shit that Donald. He may write screenplays. Yeah, he might have written for TV, but if it wasn't successful, does that
you have to look at success? You have to look at impact. You have to look at success. Success meaning mass consumption or numbers.
Jay-Z has I think Jay-Z's impact trumps, no pun intended, Donald Glover.
Yeah, but impact is not talent. I'm only gauging talent.
No, impact. You would have to put impact in there because that just goes back to my point. If Jay-Z played the flute, right, but nobody knows him for playing the flute, then his impact wasn't credible enough.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is strictly based on talent alone.
But here's my point is
I didn't say the most impactful people. I said the most talented people. Who does
we don't know if this nigga Jay-Z juggles or whatever or does any of the things. You know, that's my point.
Or we can go on with the information we have. And if you don't have that information, you can't use that.
Okay.
It's not admissible.
I just think that's a setup for failure then. So who were the names that you guys threw out there?
Chris Brown, Beyonce, Donald Glover.
So Beyonce. Okay. So Chris Brown sings and dances and raps. That's three things.
Produce.
He makes beats.
He produces music. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just throw.
He writes for other people.
Okay. That's 5.
He can do what you call it? What's the name of that shit?
My point is, you got 5 things that Jay-Z does the same shit. Like, okay, we'll throw singing out of there. Singing and dancing. We'll take those 2 out, right? And we can replace them with being a CEO. We can replace them with being an activist, right? Is that a talent?
I don't know if that's talent. I'm speaking strictly on talent that's widely accepted.
Bruh. See, I think that's the conversation is getting a little too general now because now it's becoming. I don't agree with.
I like your perspective though.
Because it depends on what you're saying the skill is.
No, I agree with it. It also depends on what you respect as a talent.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I think that's what has to be broken down as well. But if you're talking about from a music standpoint, like, oh, he can play an instrument. Oh, he can produce. He can write. He can sing. He can dance. Then I'm gonna give you okay. Chris Brown.
So I just pulled up talent. It says natural aptitude or skill, meaning God-given or natural ability.
Okay.
So athletes, singers, dancers, rappers, all these types of things. Production is something that's learned. So I guess you can throw that out.
So writing, same thing?
Writing would be, ability to write, ability to...
So what's the difference between writing and producing?
Well, producing is like producing...
You still got to learn both of those, right? That's not, you don't come out the womb like, you know what I'm saying?
Scholar, yeah.
A scholar and shit, like coming out with bars and shit.
Right. Yeah, so I guess it would be
very interesting conversation though, like, because I would definitely I would say, just as far as impact that I know, I would say MJ, I would say Pac, for me, MJ, Pac, and...
But Michael Jackson sings, dances, and produces and writes. Yeah. Same shit.
Yeah. MJ is definitely up there.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's literally subjective. It's perspective based on what impacts you the most. Mm-hmm. So the conversation, the reason why somebody just posted something interesting on Instagram too, and the reason why I said Donald Glover would have to be in the conversation, I agree with the homie, is because of the vast majority of successes he's had with his talent. With various talents.
But my thing is this: how big is the impact? And I guess it just boils down to how aware we are, because there's a lot of people that may be Childish Gambino fans or Donald Glover fans are like, oh man, y'all sleep. Y'all should have known about him a while back, right? But I'm still holding on to my point of nobody would be talking about it right now. If This Is America didn't drop, nobody would be talking about this. He wouldn't be in that conversation.
No, I agree with you, but you also need a platform for people to care about your talent.
For sure. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Now you posted something on Instagram. No, was it Twitter and Instagram? I definitely want to get your opinion about this because it's got a lot of people talking about young DJ Leslie over there.
This list?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
This list, yes.
Okay.
Now
I knew this shit was gonna come back to haunt me.
We do a good job of keeping people aware, and I saluted you for putting this list out there. And pretty much you were just saying, letting people know that there's a new wave of LA rap, hip hop that people should be aware of.
Yeah.
And you list a good like 15, 20 names, right? And I think what a lot of people missed is at the bottom, you said this is just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
How crazy was that? Because I seen your timeline blow up of people just saying, oh, but you forgot about insert rapper. Oh, you forgot about this person. Oh, I guess I got to work harder. Now, I did like the fact that people that owned up to that there was a couple of people that were like, all right, for sure, I got some work to do. I love that energy.
I love that.
From people, because it's like you are either aware of where you stand, and if you're not or you don't agree with it, it's going to make you work harder. And I think that, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. And I think that's going to make a lot more people that see that's not on the quote unquote list.
Yeah.
Work harder and try to get, on your radar. For the most part.
Thing is, like, I do shit with great intentions, and the thing is, that's why I'm unapologetic about everything I do, is because I do everything with pure intent. And so when I was literally laying in my bed, and I was like, man, I want people to know, because I'm listening to Buddy, I'm listening to Jason Cash, I'm listening to King and Blast and Chris O'Bannon, I'm listening to these motherfuckers. And actually, shout to the homie Pooh from Laced, he sent me a Chris O'Bannon song, and I'm like, man, this shit is fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just like, why people don't know about what we got going on? I want people to know. Yeah. And it sucks to me that people in our position don't utilize that platform to showcase these up and comers, which we do on a regular basis. With Homegrown. So I was like, you know what? Let me just tweet this real quick. So I just started going. I literally was spitballing off the top of my head. What have I listened to in the last 2 to 4 days?
Right.
And so I'm just typing names. This person.
And you know what that does too? Because it happened with me. I'm just like, damn. There's some people that, of course, I know on the list, and there's some people I'm not familiar with at all myself. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in a position where I should be in the know.
Right.
So let me go do my research on it. So, and I think that's just knowing how you operate and knowing your influence. No, we may not be able to play a certain song every single night on the radio, you know what I'm saying? But you can do that, and that influence right there is going to show, like, whether you're in the industry or a fan, to say, oh, well, damn, who is Chris O'Bannon? Like, who is so-and-so? Like, and I think that's the doper part about that got overshadowed around everybody.
Bro,
it's like,
when you talking about, like, I'm over, like, I forgot, I looked at it yesterday or the day before. It was like at like 30,000 impressions or some shit like that.
Crazy.
And I'm just like, damn, people really, and something I did overlook, and some people always tell me is like, you don't know your impact. You don't know, like, I don't know how to say it, but they're like, you don't know how your opinion really means something. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like, people really tripping off of this shit.
You got to think about it, though, bro. Like, for real. We talk about this offline, too. We don't look at it being in the position, but that's no different than Julio G or Big Boy jumping on air and be like, yo, man, I was just listening to, DJ Hed mixing the other day. Or, or an artist, right? Whatever. It's like you would flip the fuck out and be like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's
true. And you would also feel a way if you were somebody of caliber or on that pursuit, and the person that they shouted out, it's like, oh fuck. And you may feel like, man, I know I'm harder in my head, or damn, I know I've worked harder, I did this and that and the third. It just makes you feel a certain way. So I get why people feel the way about it, but at the same time, it shouldn't be something where they're reaching out to you. Like, what do you feel like is the craziest response that you've got? You don't have to say no names, but like, what do you feel like? What response did you receive? You're like,
I honestly didn't look at all of. I got so many responses. I didn't even read them all, to be honest with you. I didn't look at it because that's not why I did it. I didn't do it for reactions. I didn't do it for a response. I didn't do it for clout. I didn't do it to shit on nobody. I did it because I want people to know what's going on in my city. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they was, I remember somebody said, Pinch is not even from LA, he's from the OC. Okay. And you listen to Real 92.3, and this is LA's new home for hip hop, and we in the IE, the OC, the San Fernando Valley. You know what I'm saying? People know this is a general greater Los Angeles area. I want people to know what the fuck is going on out here. There's people that follow me on the East Coast. DJ Self, DJ Sus One, they in New York. My people in Texas, my people in Florida, my people up top. Like, I know a lot of motherfuckers. I want people to know what the fuck is going on here. That's why I did that. I didn't do it to to shit on nobody else, which I know a couple of people took it like that. Oh, you forgot this person. Oh man, you out the loop. You don't know what the fuck is going on over here in Compton. You don't know. I'm like, bro, I can't listen to every fucking every
this
fucking
is
song.
my opinion.
I just want to bring awareness to what the fuck we got going on out here in this region.
Now I loved how some people were reacting to it as if it was like the double XL freshman,
bro.
Like, we're not publishing anything out of this.
I didn't even act or tag nobody. I didn't do it for no acknowledgement.
Nah, but I love the energy that it brought, man. And I think at the end of the day, what your intent was, ultimately, it ended up happening. It's gotten people talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, people, yeah.
Which is good. I mean, and it's, again, whether you're within the industry, whether you're a DJ, whether you're an artist yourself, I think everybody has felt a way about it, and it's done something in one way, shape, or form. You know
and I think that I had a conversation about that list that I posted on my Instagram about this is the be up on what's going on in LA. In the LA hip hop scene, and it got brought all the way back to the Global Spin Awards post, and it was like, you don't realize your words, like they hold weight, and I'm like, okay, I don't take it lightly, but I also underestimate and undervalue that too, because I don't look at it like that. I'm looking at it like I'm just a homie. Like, why do it matter what I think?
Yeah.
And now I understand more. It's like, oh no, it really matters what I think to people. Like, and I'm like, okay, I don't take that responsibility lightly, but at the same time,
it's still it's an adjustment. Like,
you still gonna let me have my fucking opinion,
right?
And not only that is if my intention is pure. This is how I look at it, and this is how I talk to rappers who be emotional. This is how I talk to my family who haven't seen me in months. This is how I talk to women who want a relationship. If my intention is pure, fuck you. That's how I feel.
That's contradicting right there. If my intention is pure, then fuck you.
If my intention is pure and you got a problem with it, fuck you. That's how I feel.
So if it's pure, if they got a problem with your
if my intention is pure and you have a problem with my good intentions, fuck you. That's how I feel. West Coast.
All right. One thing that we can kind of, because we got to wrap up in a second, man. Somebody who kind of has your same sentiment, right? And I'm not gonna say your same sentiment, but just crazy. Chance the Rapper said Baychella was better than was just Beyonce at Coachella. Was better than any MJ performance ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how I feel.
Wait, who said that?
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper said.
He said Beyonce
at Coachella.
I'm paraphrasing. Basically, Beyonce is a better performer than MJ. I think
Charlamagne said that too.
Tripping. He Chance is tripping, and Charlamagne is tripping.
Yeah.
If you think that. And maybe we need some clarification. Maybe we need to hit up Chance or talk to Charlamagne and see exactly what he means. If he means that, Beyonce had more choreography and had better lighting and stuff like that, then okay, that's an argument that you can say. I haven't been to a Michael Jackson show. I haven't seen him live like that. But just based off of seeing him perform from performances I've seen on YouTube or like on TV, he gives his all, you know what I'm saying? And the impact of that is crazy. And I think that Beyonce has a phenomenal impact as well and is making her way up there. But at the same time, it's just like...
I think people just jump the gun people jump out the window and say shit. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't done the research that Charlamagne did. I'm pretty sure Chance is pretty articulate.
And if he said if that was his opinion, then okay, then we can throw all this out the window.
Well, no, but see, that goes back to what I was just saying. People don't know how their opinion holds weight. I'm pretty sure that Chance and both Charlamagne alike know that their opinions hold weight because they're articulate and they are very calculated in their thoughts.
What's up, man?
But I don't know. I haven't done the research to either side with them or against them in that I don't know. Yeah, I'm point, okay with saying I don't know.
At this point, if I had to jump out the window, jumping out the window from MJ.
Plus, going back to what I said, I wasn't fully aware of Michael Jackson's impact like that. Like I was a fucking kid,
bruh.
I remember he debuted his album on network television. Remember the time
that shit was
he shut down.
Bruh, our family had a get together just to watch this nigga's video. Bro.
I remember the impact around me.
Remember the time?
I don't know his impact directly with me, is what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying.
I remember the energy around it. Yeah. I remember that. My family gathered around the TV and all that. I remember him making chicks pass out, making men cry.
That shit is crazy.
Making men cry. I remember all of that. I don't know how he affected me. I can't go off of how he made you feel.
But still, right? Okay. You would.
Is that not fair?
No. That's totally fair. But I think that impact still has to carry weight, right? when the LA riots happened, right? I live in Carson, right?
Yeah, so I was in Hawaiian Gardens at the time.
Right, so exactly. You knew, like, that didn't affect me personally, but I just knew how crazy that was because my church was in South Central.
Yeah.
My mom got her hair done the same day that shit happened, and she had to come home from the hairdresser and drive up Manchester and see motherfuckers busting windows and shit, right? And she chose to keep me out of school. I went to school in Long Beach. That shit wasn't coming nowhere near Long Beach, but the effect that it had was just like, oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah. Whereas I have homies that shit was happening right outside their fucking house. You know what I'm saying? They you know, allegedly their family was allegedly looped. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were directly in. But so my point is, it doesn't have to impact me directly to see the outside impact that it has on the world. And Michael Jackson is one of those motherfuckers where it did have an impact on me directly, but he wasn't my favorite artist. But I remember motherfuckers. I remember the fucking glove. I remember that motherfucking moonwalking. I remember like trying to do those moves and shit, even though I didn't know how to do none of that shit. I remember that, even though I wouldn't even go on record and say he was my favorite artist, right?
Yeah.
But I just remember his impact, like, yo, that's crazy. So to hear Chance, and I get it for him, it's different because he wasn't even born when all that shit went down. Like, we were on the tail end of Michael's, like, his greatness. We were born at the height of his shit, and then we were kind of getting a little older, or we were growing up. We were in our adolescence towards the end of his reign, like, you know what I'm saying, when he became lighter and lighter and lighter and shit. But for Chance, I don't even think he was born when MJ's Remember the Time video came out. So I get his impact. It would make sense for him. So I understand what you're saying, but still, I know, like, you know, at this point, it's like, damn, you still got to put respect on certain people's name. Like, damn.
No, I put respect on their name. What I can't testify on is their direct impact with me.
Gotcha.
And that's why I won't give them that.
Right.
I can testify Chris Brown's direct impact with me. Mm-hmm. I can testify on people like Donald Glover on his direct impact with me. Mm-hmm. Even Jamie Foxx damn near would probably
say, now I would put Jamie in that
That's what I'm saying. Like, people like that, I know their direct impact. I watched the Jamie Foxx show on television. Right. Yeah. I watched Jamie Foxx stand-up specials. I watched him on A Living Color. I watched his movies. Law Abiding Citizen, one of my favorite movies. I watched all this shit. That's what I'm saying. Now, the impact around me, you're right. I got to take that into consideration, but it weighs heavier when I can testify to somebody direct impact with me.
Very true.
So I can't include that. I can't give Michael Jackson that. I was too young. I can't give Michael Jordan that. I was too young to understand. Kobe got all of that. Kobe get all that energy.
And I know
Matt Johnson can't get
crazy.
That from me.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe, they get all that energy from me. I was there. I remember that shit.
So what about LeBron?
I just said it. I just said it publicly, and me and you talked about this on this podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't want LeBron James in Los Angeles. I recant that statement.
Bring that nigga here.
Bring him over. Bring that nigga on. Come to death row. Listen, let me tell you something. And I'm gonna go on record and say this. I said this on the radio, Real 92.3 LA. Listen. LeBron James is unlike anything I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Is he better than Kobe?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I'm okay with saying I don't fucking know.
Do you not know, or do you not want to answer the question?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to answer the question or not.
Shit crazy. Shit getting
what
tricky.
I'm saying to you is I'm having a conflict of fucking interest, okay? I'm emotionally connected to the Lakers. I'm emotionally invested in Kobe. But LeBron James is unlike anything I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Let the record reflect.
Let the record fucking reflect. I don't know. Okay?
Oh, shit.
It's like I feel like a woman who getting good dick, but the nigga cheating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Bruh, I'm done.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm done, dog.
West Coast.
On that note, we got to leave on that note, man.
West Coast.
Hey.
I don't know.
Hey, subscribe
I'm conflicted.
everywhere. Thank y'all for showing the love.
God damn it.
At Homegrown Radio everywhere. Subscribe. We see the comments. We're going to get back online and how about the comments. We're going to have some people up in here, too. We get to the new schedule. Hey, we got to get up out of here. Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle DJ Hed. Catch y'all motherfuckers next time.